Hey guys, it's Aiden here from Summit Adventure Equipment, and I'm just bringing you the Dauntless Tactical Slingshot version 1 setup tutorial. So let's get straight into it. Alrighty guys, the only tools we're going to need to set this thing up is a Phillips head screwdriver. So we provide these large and small hex keys in the package, so you don't need to worry about them. I also recommend the use of some WD-40 just to lube up the bearings and make sure everything runs smoothly. Alrighty, so let's get straight into it. So we're going to start with the barrel here. You might notice some scratching on the sides of it. Yours will not come like this. This is a demo model I've already used. Now you might notice this plastic insert in the trigger housing. You may need to insert that, but I've already gone ahead and done it. Now for this first stage, we're not going to need the trigger guard and the handle, so we can put them off to one side. Alrighty, so let's grab the barrel and then we can slide that right inside the trigger housing. That should fit in nice and snug. Make sure the holes line right up, otherwise we may have some problems. Now let's grab a large screw and put that through the second hole to the right. You can push it all the way through like I have and then let it come back. Now we're going to get this cog and try and have it so the spring is facing downwards when you insert it. Now let's push it up there and see if we can line up the hole with the screw. Alrighty, now let's put a nut over the screw there just to hold it in place while we set up the trigger. Now to the hole directly to the right, let's put another screw through it and line the trigger up like we did before. I also recommend putting a nut on this one too. Now we're going to want the teeth of the cog to face directly up so we can push that up with a screw there. Okay, let's add some power to this system. We can go ahead and grab the trigger spring and that will slide firmly over the plastic insert to the left there. We can now do the cog spring second. Make sure you do this one second, otherwise we may have some issues. Okay, now before we finish up with this trigger mechanism, we need to cock it with a screw like I'm doing here. Looking good. Now I'm going to go ahead and test it, which is not a great idea. Now let's go ahead and thread a screw and place that in the end there. That's quite important. Let's go ahead and grab the trigger guard and place that on those two pins there. It should fit nice and snug. Okay, now let's unscrew those two nuts there and we should be able to slide the housing right on. Now let's turn it right over and we can put a screw directly to the right there. That will stop the trigger from overextending itself, meaning we're ready to fire. Awesome, now I've gone ahead and put in the rest of the screws. They aren't too important, they're just to hold the housing together, but let's move on to the handle. Okay, the handle should snap right on. We can go ahead and put a medium-sized screw in the top hole and a small screw in the bottom. Okay, so it's looking nice. I've gone ahead and tightened everything up and we're ready to move on to part 2 of this tactical slingshot. Okay, now I've gone ahead and disassembled half of the parts for the second assembly. The other half are still attached, as you can see. Now this is just to provide us with a reference point to work with. So let's get straight into it. Alrighty, first things first. I've gone ahead and I've grabbed the ball bearing slide for the front half of the assembly, and the handle I've got there should snap right onto it. Now, as you can see, I have 3 gold screws and they should slide straight into the holes, and we can go ahead and tighten them right up. Okay, now let's go ahead and take these 2 screws out of this piece here and slide them into this next piece. They should go in snugly and we can then put the other bit straight back on. Nice, now let's grab that screw. We can pass that straight through the bearing in the pulley there. Perfect, and let's put that through the last hole in the elbow where we can tighten that up with the screw and the screwdriver. Awesome, now these 2 components should slide right together and we're ready to attach it to the final assembly. Perfect, let's just tighten those screws up and we're good to go. Okay, let's go ahead and unscrew that and pass it through the bearing in this last pulley here. We can then go ahead and put that through the middle hole in this elbow and tighten that up with the nut and the screwdriver. Okay, let's grab the larger of these two screws, and we can go ahead and screw these two pieces together. The second piece here should have threads, that should go right on. Perfect, now let's get those last two screws, we can pass them through those holes there. We're then ready to bolt this onto the final assembly and we are done. Nice, now it's the moment of truth. Let's slide these two pieces together. It may lock right about there. We can pull the trigger down and that will then slide all the way on. Perfect. Nice, now let's add some serious power. And the wire should be already attached there, but if it isn't, I'll have a video on that later. Now let's thread the rubber around these two cogs and lock it off at the back. Now the wire should be running around these two smaller cogs, and just like that, you're ready to go. Nice, now let's finish this. Let's grab the folding stock and fold it off to the side to reveal a hole at the back. We can then go ahead and unscrew the screw in the back of the housing and push the stock in nice and firm. Perfect, just like that. Now let's go ahead and push that screw in there and tighten it right up. Awesome, and like that we're all done with an adjustable folding stock all included in the package. Okay, now this last step's completely optional, but I went ahead and got a can of WD-40 and sprayed the slide down with it, and it made reloading so much easier. I highly recommend you guys do the same. Now before I finish up, I'm just going to grab this plastic knob here and slide it all the way back to show you guys how to reload. Now from here we can drop some 8mm ball bearings in the circular shaped notch there. They should slide down the end of the magazine ready to go. Alright guys, and just like that we're all done. Now if you have any questions or comments at all, please don't hesitate to contact me via our website, and I'll see you later. Bye.